So let's say that. Okay. Oh, I'm muted. 1 minute. No, I'm not muted. Okay. Let's say that. Okay, Tov. We'll start or continue from where we left off yesterday. Daf Mem Aleph Amud Aleph. And you're going really back on the din of the Mishnah that we learned yesterday. Now we said that the din of the Mishnah yesterday, BMS, the simple din is really the halacha like it says in the Torah. And it says that a shor shenogach as adam v'meis. So we were talking about kofer yesterday, but either way, the shor itself is chayav misa. It says sokel yisakel hashor. You have to stone the shor. V'lo yachelas b'saroi. You don't eat the basar. You're not allowed to eat the basar from the ox on the shor. Or Baal Hashor Naki, which in the Pshat would mean that the Baal Hashor, he doesn't have any ownership. In other words, even though we force it to own for him the fact that we're cycled the shor, but he doesn't have any additional ownership besides for that we're cycled that we give misa for the shor. So that's the possible.
Shor skills, you can't keep the meat.
Correct.
So they give their animal.
Excellent question. You can't eat the meat. But he's asking, what's his name? Shaul is asking if that's only as far as eating. But how about could he sell it to goyim? That's called having hano. Could he have benefit, other monetary benefits from the meat, not by eating it? So that's what the Gemara is going to talk about today. And the answer is going to be no. But until we get to that, it's not so simple. So the Gemara starts off with the halacha itself that it says again, sokel yisokal ashor. So what do we say? How you have to stone the shor, and you're not allowed to eat the meat. And everyone's supposed to say, you're not allowed to eat the meat? I thought that we stoned the shor. So the meat anyway would be treif. There was no shchita, so of course you can't eat the meat. So that's how the Gemara is going to start. So the Gemara says, the pasuk says, Sokel yisokel ashor, v'lo yeyochel es b'saroi, uval ashor noki. Tonu Rabbanon. So there's a brayz about it. Mimashma shenemar, from the fact that it says in the Torah, Sokeli Sokel Ashor, Sokeli Sokel Ashor, that you stone the shor. Eini yoidea, don't I know shenevelohi, that now once it was stoned, so there was never shchita. You just threw it down. So of course we know that the meat itself is nevela, unevela asura ba'achila, and you're not allowed to eat the meat. Ma talmo loima, why does it have to say lo yeyochel es b'soroi? Why does it have to say also lo yeyochel es b'soroi, that you're not allowed to eat the meat? And the Gemara is going to say that I'm going to have a way. What's saying? This is coming to tell you a new din. That till now we only knew that once you stone the shor, so then you can't eat the meat. But obviously the Torah is saying again, you're not allowed to eat the meat. So the Torah is being meramis. The Torah is hinting to us another din by saying Magilacha Kosov. The pasuk is telling us she'im shechotoi la'achar shenigmar dinoi also ba'achila. Not only if he takes the shor and he stones it, is he not allowed to eat the meat, which obvious, right? The meat itself would be nevela. But even if in the end they didn't end up stoning it, the Bezdin said, this is a shor haniska, we got to take this shor and we have to be soikel. But in the end, it didn't end up being niskal. The bailam, the person who owned the shor right away took it, and he was shochet. He slaughtered the shor kedin, and now he's saying, okay, so now we have the meat, and now I want to eat the meat. So you would think that now you're allowed to eat the meat because it wasn't niskal and it's kosher meat. So that the Torah says again, lo yeyochel es b'saroi, that you're not allowed to eat the basar, the meat from a shor niskal, even if in the end you didn't end up throwing it down. Once it already had the halacha that we passed on this, that it's a shor niskal, that it's a shor which deserves to be stoned. So from then it already becomes status of a shor niskal. And the meat is also to be eaten, even in a case that it's going to be kosher meat. The mashal how? If he was shochet, if he slaughtered it before it was actually stoned. So the meat be'etzim is kosher meat, but you're not allowed to eat it because the halacha that is considered bala shor naki. Not so close. Mem Aleph. Amud Aleph, about 2/3 down, by the 2 dots. See, Tanu Rabbanon. So we started. Even if it was already, even if it wasn't actually stoned, and the meat would be kosher because he was shoichet the shore, but it was already afterwards paskin that it's supposed to be a shor haniskal. So one of the consequences of being a shor haniskal is that you're not allowed to eat the meat, even in a case that the meat would end up being kosher. Okay, so that's what the Bryce learned. But so far we're still talking about eating. So we had the pasuk Tapshan, the pasuk that Yisakal Ashur, and there's a halacha that you're not allowed to eat the meat, and now we have one bonus then, more than the Torah tells us first, that not only from when they actually throw it down, but from when it becomes a shor haniskal, the status of a shor haniskal, the bezdin paskin, that this is a shor which deserves to be stoned. From then, it's already also to eat the meat. Now we're gonna have even more. Ein li'ela ba'achila. And this I only know again in the pasuk. Ainly I think is going back to the original pasuk. The pasuk says, "Sokel yisokel ashur." You throw down you stone the shor. V'lo ye'ochelas b'sari. You're not allowed to eat the meat. So Reb Shaul asked, that's only eating the meat. How about selling it, having other benefits from the meat? Use it. You could use the hide, use the meat. Over here we're talking about the meat so far. How do you know you're not allowed to have hano from the meat? So obal hasher naki, this is the drash. The pashat pshat would be that sokel yisokal hasher v'lo yachal es b'sari obal hasher naki, but there is no other consequence. The bal hasher does not have to, like we're going to see soon, that if the shor was a muad, im shor nagachu mitmal shel sham, so then he also has the bal hasher, the owner of the shor, also deserves to be killed, and he has to pay kofar. And if it's a tam, bal hasher naki, he does not have to pay the kofar. That's the simple pshat. But the Gemara we have darshan that not only bal hasher naki that he's exempt from payment, but in this case we're going to stone the shor, and he will not eat the meat. You're not allowed to eat the meat, and the bal hasher is clean. What does it mean? He's clean. May mashma. What's the mashma? This person went out clean. Means he took nothing along with him, meaning that he has no benefit from the shor, not even enough. This shor is sokel. You don't need the meat. The bal hasher has nothing. He comes out clean. He has nothing benefits from the shor. He doesn't have any hana from this shor. Okay. Now, the Gemara challenges. So we have two dinim. First of all, that's also ba'ana, and the second din, or the first din really, that from the Gemara din, even before the actual skila, you're not allowed to eat the meat, even in the case that he was shochet. Now the Gemara is going to challenge the first din. It's coming to tell you, how do you know that it's coming to tell you this chiddush that we said that even if you were shochet after the Gemara din, it's already also ba'achila. Maybe this is not true, and really, if he was shoicheted before the Gemara din, I'm sorry, before the actual skila, you're allowed to eat the meat. We said two halachas. One was that you're not allowed to have an from it. That was the second halacha. And the first halacha was that already from after the Gemara din, you're already not allowed to eat. Maybe all the pasuk is telling you, you're not allowed to eat the meat, is only coming to tell us that you're not allowed to have hana. Maybe the whole Isser only starts from after the skila. If you caught yourself, if he did something before the actual skila, it's going to be mutter. But maybe it's coming to tell you that you can't have hana. Correct. So it can't be telling you the etzem halacha that you can't eat it because it's nevela. But maybe the lo yachlas b'sari is coming to tell us that we're not allowed to have hana, which we before had from that other halacha, balasher noki. Maybe we don't need that drasha. It's not true that drasha. But we're going to say lo yachlas b'sari means that he can't even have hana. Well, you say what do you mean? But it says lo yachlas b'sari. It says you should not eat the meat. It doesn't talk about hana. But the Gemara is going to say that there's a mandam. The Gemara is going to bring about that. Well, it could be that over here. Everyone agrees that when it says that the meat should not be eaten, it doesn't just mean eaten. It means not to be used at all. Why? Because when the Torah says such and such animal, you're not allowed to eat its meat. Does the Torah only mean eating, or does it mean what about other hanas? So there's one time that the Torah talks about not eating meat. It talks about nevela, but treifa. Basabasa treifa, nevela or treifa. I think nevela, and it says what should you do? you should give it to the goy.
The
To a goy or to the dog.
dog.
Too. Maybe there's two psukim. And one time it says that you should give it to goy. I think there's two psukim. What?
Rashi said, Rashi says, it's worse than the dog is better than a goy.
We could read the Gemara in
That's in the
one second.
what's it called?
Uncensored.
Uncensored version. I saw it in the let's take a commercial. Somebody showed it to me.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, he figured
Just one second.
Worse than anything. Worse than a shirt. Worse than the slip.
The one. Just one second. I just want to see that. I should say it correctly.
If it's giving it to the dog or giving it to the boy,
Right.
that's some form of hana.
That's interesting.
Oh yeah.
I will feed your dog for a very long time. It's a lot of meat. One coat.
Okay.
Be down.
That's a fruit from the villa. So over here it talks about giving it to goy. That's by the villa. And the boss was the treifel. I think it says a kelef tashlichuna says. Okay, so one time it says to give it to a dog. One time it says to give it to a goy. And so the Torah says you should give it over to a goy. And the Gemara learns from that there's one time that the Torah says you don't eat meat. Instead, give it to a goy. So that one time is or two times the only way the Torah says that you're allowed to use it for something else, to give it to a goy or to sell it to a goy. So then you're allowed to have other hana. But when you're not allowed to have other hana, when the Torah doesn't specify anything, it just says don't eat it. It's also including not to have hana. And the truth is that the Gemara says that in this case, where it doesn't just say lo yisaychal, it says v'lo ye'ochel as b'sarai. It would really, everyone would agree that lo ye'ochel as b'sarai doesn't just mean not to eat; it also means not to have hana.
And just like over there, it specified that you could give to the goy. If it didn't, we'd assume that you can't.
Correct. And from there, I derived that in other places where the Torah does not specify, lo ye'ochel as b'sarai means that even not to have any hana from it. So now, when we're going to go back to our pasuk, which we said, the pasuk says, "Sokoil yisokel ashor v'lo ye'ochel as b'sarai." So maybe the words "v'lo ye'ochel as b'sarai" is coming to tell us, no, I'm not to eat. I would know because you stoned it. It's nevela. There was no shchita, right? But maybe lo ye'ochel as b'sarai also includes, as we said, not to have hana. So maybe all the Torah is telling us is really that second halacha, not to have hana. But the first halacha maybe is not true. The first halacha that we said that after the Gemara din already, you're not allowed to eat it, or you're not allowed to have hana from after the Gemara din, even before the skila, maybe that's not true. The pasuk of lo yochel es b'sarai, which we do, right? That is only telling us the halacha not to have hana. Again, v'hai lo yochel es b'sarai leched sakli miskal. The also ba'ano k'der Bava, as Bava says that lo yochel will also include hana. The Yomer Bava Amar B'Dazar Kol Mokim Shenema Lo Yeyochel. Or I think over here it should be Lo Yoichal Lo Yisoichal Lo Yisoichlu Echad Isra Achila VeEchad Isra Hana B'Mashma. It really includes also the Isra Achila and also the Isra Hana. Achi Yefarit Locha HaKosov, until the Torah specifies for you Keder Chaparat Locha HaKosov B'Nevela, like the Torah specifies by Nevela that it's Leger B'Nesina or L'Goy B'Mechira. What you should do with it. That you should. Oh, so someone else look out the shaykhon also. Okay, because to ger and to goy, to sell it or to give it. The pasuk over there says that either to give it to a ger, someone has a ger toishav, so you would give it to because it's he's living amongst you, or you could sell it to a goy. But anyhow, only over there that the Torah specifies to give it away to the goy, that's where you're allowed to have hana. But with the Torah doesn't specify that you're allowed to give it to someone else. So even though the lashon of the Torah is lo yochal, it would include also iser hana. So made by us that it says Sokol Yisokel Ashor, but Lo Ye'ochel as b'sarai, maybe what it's really referring to is the hana, and then we wouldn't be able to learn out the other halacha that we tried to learn out. The Gemara says no, it can't be that Lo Ye'ochel as b'sarai over here means hana. Why? When the Torah is telling you not to eat it, and then it could also say the lashon of Lo Ye'ochel, and it will also include all other hanas. But when it doesn't have to tell you the halacha not to eat it, it's only nogea to tell us the halacha not to have hana. So for that, the Torah wouldn't use a lashon lo yochel or lo yochel. because it's not
relevant.
It's not relevant. When it also includes lo yochal, so of course that's the main hana, and the Torah also includes all hanas. So it could say it in a lashon of lo yochal. But when that's not even true, or you don't even need a halacha of lo yochal, it's only telling you not to have other hana, not to use it, not to. So then it wouldn't tell you in a lashon of lo yochal. So that's Amri. The Bnei Yeshiva said this is not a time. Hani miliyechad the nafik le isra achila vi isra no mikra. Then it could say milo yochal. Aval hocha. Then you learn that from the yochal. Then it could say aval hocha the isra achila. How do we know that it's also ba'achila? Like you said, it's pshita. Misokel yisokel. Meaning not from the word sokel yisokel, but from the fact that it was niskal. So of course it's trick. Nafka se isol kadaita. If you would think that hai lo yochal es besori, lo yochal es besori is only coming to tell you the isra no nichte v'achmona lo yena. So let the Torah just tell you lo yehena. So if it's coming to tell you lo yochal, it's also telling us some kind of isra achila. And we said the regular isra achila you don't need. Why not? Because it's anyway a shor aniskal. So what's it for? It's coming to tell you, even if in the end you weren't so killed the shor, it was just the gmar din that we paskened on it that it's a shor aniskal. Even if we didn't actually go and we weren't so killed, instead the Bailam came and he was shochet, and technically it's kosher meat. Still, it has the Allah of shor aniskal already, and it's lo yochal as besarei. So we also established our first.
No, the paskin, but it went through a shkita that somehow guided off to be a sure.
Right. So basically, the Brayta brought two halachas from lo yochal as besarei that even after the Gemara din, and then we said even Isra Hana, and the Gemara challenged maybe all we're going to learn is Isra Hana. We challenged the first din, it's not true, and now we're saying no, both halachas are true. Now the Gemara really comes in with a new drasha, which is interesting because the Brayta before didn't say this drasha. Inami, I'll tell you a new makar that after the Gemara din you're not allowed to have Hana. Inami lo yochal as besarei lomali.
Where is that from then?
The second to the last line, the last few words, inami.
It could have said lo yena, or it could have said lo yachal. No.
So how do you learn? Lo yochal as besarei. No, lo yochel, right? As besarei lamali. So what's the drasha now? Again. So you're saying that even in lo yena we're also learning it from as besarei?
No.
Again. There's two. What are the two options? How do we know that after Gemara din you can't have Hana? One option is
because it said lo yachal.
lo yochel, and don't have to tell us. And if it's just telling us Hana, let's just say lo yana. Or what's the other way?
Or it should say lo yachal. If worst comes to worst, he insists to say lo yachal.
Lo yana it's everything.
But I don't need that. It should be lo yochel. We said, right? Again, so that's one drasha. Or if you insist on saying lo yochel, even if you don't need it, there'll still be a drasha of es besarei. So the Maisa, how do you know? So how do you know in the end that even that if you were sheichet, it's also ba'ana? Not from the lo yochel, right? Only from the es besarei.
Right.
So according
to this.
Or maybe lo yochel together with the es besarei, the afagav, the av. Let me just read it. Es besarei, the Gemara says not that it's a ribui, but es besarei lamali. The afagav, the av they can bosa. Even if you made it like bosa, the shachte that you were sheichet, you weren't cycle to show you were sheichet it, it's still also. Right?
Yeah.
So I didn't get exactly what this two drashas
maybe
are.
this is what needs to be asked, but if you didn't ask, I'm asking you. Why didn't it say lo yana?
Inami, I feel it's
I know, I was just trying to figure out, is this a whole new drasha than the Gemara said before? Meaning, the Brayta before bought a drasha that it says lo yochel, and we don't need it because we would have known anyway the isra achila, and that's why it's telling us la'achar shenigma dinoi. The Gemara asked the kasha on that. Then maybe lo yochel is coming to tell you it's a hana. So first the Gemara says no, that it can't be. It should just say lo yehena. So if it says lo yochel, it means eating, and we don't need it legufay because it's already niskal. So it's for sure coming to say la'achar shenigma dinoi. That's what the Brayta said. Now the Gemara over here in this line is coming to tell us a new drasha that we didn't know about before.
I think if the way Rashi says it, if you insist on saying lo yachal because that's how we like talking, but
even when it only means hana, in other words, it's not a kasha to say lo yana. So then maybe lo yachal is only coming to say the hana. So on that we tell you as the sorry, apple the came sorry. But that's a whole new drush that we didn't know about in the Brisa. So okay. What do you say, Aaron?
Why didn't it just say lo yahana? It would be much shorter and everything would clear.
Right, but the Torah wanted to tell you that if Aaron still has a lo yachal, even in a case where you really could eat it. If
No, if it would say lo yahana, that would include everything.
but then I wouldn't know, but I wouldn't have a pshita. I wouldn't know to take it even to another case. If let's say it would say lo yana,
Yeah.
but then I would know that once I was cycle the shore, I can't eat it because it's nevela, but also you're not allowed to have any ano. But I wouldn't know that after the Gemar din, it's already considered a shore and you can't eat it.
Then.
So that's why it said that's already okay. I think
Episero come to what's the question on that?
as besoro is
What's the additional lashon?
as besoro, no, not the s, but besoro means meat, not just to eat its corpus, the nevela. If we say as besoro, maybe we're referring even if you made it like regular meat. How does that mean? Kosher meat. You're supposed to stone the shore, and you don't eat the meat. And the Torah says it in a way, not just v'lo yachal oisoi or v'lo yachal, but v'lo yachal as besoro. Even if you made it like kosher meat, in a way, you still should not eat it. How would that be? How do you make it in the kosher meat? Before, right? Before the skila, maybe. After it was already a shore on his skull, because there was a gemara in. Still, we took it and he was shocheted. That would still make it kosher. I think that's what the gemara is saying. Now, maskef lo marzutra.
You won't even be able to practice on an animal like that, shechting.
You want to know if you can have a no before you were shoichet? I don't know. Maybe the Issa no only comes. No, in other words, the Issa for sure comes already from the Gemara din. I have to do skila, and could you have a no while you're being shokel? Sort of. I don't shchiti, not doing skila. Okay, not sure. Maskef lo marzutra. I was going to have a cute. We were going assuming that when you have skila, so it's for sure not kosher, right? And if it says lo yachal as besara, you can't be for the regular case. That was our assumption. Then we wanted to know what you're going to take it for Isser Hano, or you'll take it from Achan Nigmadin. But for the simple case, you don't need it. Maskef lo marzutra imo hani mili the halacha of lo yachal as besara. You know what it's talking about? He took a sharp stone, and like the old, he made a knife out of the stone, and he was shochet with this stone. The avdei came skila, sort of a skila. It was a shor on his stone. He was saying, how could it be a shor on his stone? He used the stone to kill it, so it was a sokel yisokel ashor. But you said, hey, it's nevela. Maybe no. Maybe the taka was that he was shochet. But if he would be shochet b'saken, avadavi the shachti b'saken, loy. Then it would be a good shchita, and maybe then that's not included in what the Torah says. Sorry, I think that's how people are niskal. The one says, but I think the simple part of pshat and means that you stone the shor.
Don't push it.
Sakel beraglov, yeah. When you throw up stones, that's called skila. Not only when you throw him off the.
Why are you saying it's not like person?
He's asking if you throw it. Will you be mekayim the mitzvah of sokel ashor without throwing it off? If you kill it by throwing it off, then it's not with a stone. I think you could be mekayim at least in the mitzvah of the Torah sokel. If you would throw stones at it, that's called skila.
I'm saying when a person's first pushed off a platform.
That's the way that it's done. Maybe it's done.
Maybe that's the market.
But I think right. I think the halacha of skila is it says yirgumu and everyone takes and throws a stone in, and that's the main skila. Not to throw him off. I'm not sure. Maybe the Gemara has a drasha how we know that it's done that way. I'm not sure why it's done. Maybe the Gemara learns it from a. I don't know. But the simple mitzvah of skila is to sort of throw it. So you threw stones, but you know what kind of stones you threw? These sharp flint stones. I think it's the flint stones, they say, that you could make it into a knife. Last week's parsha we had that Tzipora took maybe a stone, right? I think Tzipora serve, and she did a mila with it. I brought home. They could have the stones. The mamas, they made them sharp. They found them all over Israel.
Still used.
What? They're still used today?
And still used today.
Ah.
Wow.
Because hunter gatherers, they have tons of these stones that the mamas used to cut open and they're sharp.
So I mean, Shkita and Mila, all that was done with stones for quite some time.
Could be.
It wasn't until
They
we
also
got-
had
we
this.
were doing that. Even when we got metal, we weren't able to get it as
So
thin
as sharp
yeah.
as a tzor. So the Mishnah says, and the Gemara brings the thing. So now the Gemara says. So basically, you're saying that Sokli Sokel Ashor v'lo yochel es b'sar is going to be talking in that kind of skilo that kept it kosher meat. But then the Gemara says, "Amino oto sakin ksiva b'iraisa." It doesn't say to shecht with a knife. But Tanan, it says in the Mishnah, "Shechet b'magal yad b'tur b'kone." If someone shechts with a sickle, which is in a way that it doesn't have pegimus, or b'tur with a sharp stone, or b'kone with a reed that he managed to make sharp. So it's also shchita shira. It's also a good shchita, and it brings you can even shecht with it like a tchila. And that's why that's also kosher. So therefore, what? And since that's considered a shchita, we wouldn't call that sokeli sokel ashar. If you took a stone and you this flintstone, you made it sharp, and you threw it at the animal in a way that it was shochet, we wouldn't call that sokeli sokel ashar. That's not a skila. That's a regular shchita. So if the Torah says sokeli sokel ashar, it means not in a way that you're shochet, but rather in a way that you just stoned it, and it's really nevela. And still the Torah says v'lo yeyachal es b'sarai. So what's the Torah saying that v'lo yeyachal es b'sarai? Either to tell us, like we said, Isser Hana, or what the Gemara ended up saying is to tell us that even la'achas shenigma dinoi, that in a case that you would be kosher meat, it still is telling us that even la'achas shenigma dinoi, and you were shoichet, it's still going to be also achila. Adkan, I think. A minute. Yeah. So for now, the Gemara established the first halacha, and then you were sheichet. It already has the status of a shor anisko. And the truth is that this is going to be a mishnah. And Tubat, we're going to have this mamish in a mishnah that shor yotel yisokel is already considered. And then the bailam goes and it's sheichet, besori also. That's already also. So this halacha, which the Brayzer now tells us the drashas, is later going to be in a mishnah. That's halacha number one. Halacha number two, what did we learn in our Brayzer? That by shor anisko, not only are you not allowed to eat it, but you're also not allowed to have any benefit, right? That was the word I was looking for. You're not allowed to have any benefit from the shor. And now the Gemara says, "V'hashted the nafkulon itzer achila, v'itzer anom v'lo yochel as b'soroi." We just ended up saying that maybe right. You could have lo yochel. So according to one second. I'm not 100% sure, woman, because the Gemara only says this on one in the second test. In the first test, we also say that lo yeyachal is b'sarai. Isser hana. It's just that it wouldn't be only for isser hana because then it should have said lo yeyana. So kilo lo yeyachal is telling us two things. Then also the isser hana. Sokli sokel ashar already tells us that you're not allowed to eat it because it's nevela, and lo yeyachal es b'sarai is also telling us isser hana, and also telling us isser achila la'achas shenigma dinai. That's how the Gemara goes. I'm not. I think that's how the Gemara is going. Okay, but then the Gemara is asking, and once again, we started off with this balashor noki, right? That the guy goes out clean. He has nothing from it. What do we need that for? We already said that means that from the meat he can't eat and he can't have any other benefit. So what do you need now the balashor noki for? So the Gemara is going to say balashor noki lomali. That not only are you not allowed to benefit, remember you said you can't use the meat and the hide. It's really a little bit different. The meat could be learned, that from the meat itself, you're not allowed to eat, you're not allowed to have any ano. That's on the meat, but that wouldn't tell you the hide also. The hide and maybe other parts of the animal that's being told us because it says balashor noki that he has no benefit at all from the shor. Balashor noki lamali lanos or the sokedai tachamina b'sari or the asavana. We would think that even though it says that you're not allowed to have anah, that's only from the meat or from the hides, which is not the animal itself, that you could have anah. That it didn't tell us lo ye'ochel es b'sarai. So it's telling us balashor noki that you don't have anything. You're not allowed to eat. You walk out with 0. 0 meaning even not the hide. And then the Gemara is going to tell us that later today, we're going to have other drashas of balashor noki. Balashor noki won't come only to tell us that the shor itself is walks out without anything. It's going to tell us that he's Balashar Noki, like the simple meaning maybe, that he doesn't have to pay. Either he doesn't have to pay koifer, or he doesn't have to pay the Vlados, that the Bailam doesn't have to pay. So there's a Mandama that does not hold of this drasha of Balashar Noki, that he walks out clean without getting any benefit. So that Mandama, the Gemara assumes, also agrees to the halacha that he can have benefit even from the hides, even from the oil. How does he know that? Right? If you hold Balashar Noki, so you learn it from Balashar Noki. But if you use Balashar Noki for something else, so then how do you know the halacha that you're not allowed to have any benefits? They learned this pasuk of Balashar Noki the drasha achina for a different drasha. Could be the name of kamma, like the Gemara is going to bring soon. So hanoas oirei minalu. How does he know that you don't have any hanoah from the hides also? Nafkeleu mi es besaroi es hatofel besaroi. S is always coming to tell us something additional, even something which is tofel, which is what's the word? Not sure, nitba, which is supplement. No, not supplement, which is latching on to the besaroi. My niu oiroi, and that's the or. The or of the behemoth also. So again, he's not going to learn it from Balashar Noki. He's going to learn it from Lo Yei Ochel, which also means Hano, right? Lo Yei Ochel es besaroi, the meat, and also es besaroi, the whole meat, or even what's nitbal, even what's how do you say a tofel? Connected to or added on to. Not sure if it's only connected. Okay, even the oil which is tofel of besaroi, there also you can have Hano. Now, so we're learning from what the Gemara has now a drasha from the es besaro. And now the Gemara is going to say that's also not such a simple drasha.
Is it because we can? It's not usually said ochel basaro.
Yeah, I guess it could have said v'lo ye'ochel bisaro. Why does it say v'lo ye'ochel es bisaro? In the pshat, it's not a kasha because it just means the meat or its meat. But you could say don't eat. Bisaro is also its meat, I guess, but not as bisaro. So it's an extra word for Rasha to tell us not only the meat itself, but even something else. I don't know the right word, but okay. Even the hide. Which Tana doesn't dash in the S, and one is going to bring Tana that doesn't dash in S. The high Tana S loidarish. This Tana doesn't, which of our Tana, which had to learn it out from Balashar Noki. Why do you need it from Balashar Noki, not from the Yochel Es Besaroi? Because he didn't darshan the S. Because the Tana, we learned in a Braisa that there is a Tana that does not darshan the S's. Shimon HaMsuni. Shimon from place Hamsuni maybe. Amrilo Nechemia HaMsuni. A mouse. Hoyadurish Kol Esen Shabbatorah. He darshan all the Esen in the Torah. Every S, he said, oh, this is coming to be marbet to include even something that it doesn't say in the simple meaning. But when he came to Es Hashem Elokecha Tira, it says, Es Hashem Elokecha Tira. You should be afraid from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, from Hashem our God. So what's Es? What's HaTofel HaKadosh Baruch Hu? So what the he said, what is something which is Tafel HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Piresh, he stopped. He said, it seems that the S is not. Oh man. So Shimon HaMatzuni, he said that you're very smarter. We're not holding it yet. So he said, no, Pirish. He said, okay, it seems that I was wrong. This whole idea, this whole notion that I had, that every S is coming to be marbe, is not true. Oh man, all the years we're learning over here and we're writing down all the S's. All the S's still we got here. As Hashem Elokecha Tira is in the Devarim. So we already went through Bereishis Shmois Vayikra Mamidwa. Now the Hashem Elokecha Tira Pirish. Rabbi called us just like I got schar for the droshes when I held that it was right. Now I see that the prisha is right. Kach kibalti schar ala prisha for the going away and not saying the droshes. Rabbi Akiva came and he explained as Hashem Elokecha Tira the Rabbi is Talmidei Chacham. Talmidei Chacham kaviyachol they're connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu by learning the Torah. So that's as Hashem Elokecha Tira. And he darshans the S, and then we reenacted all the S's. That S Besaro maybe, like what we said, that S Besaro will mean even what's the Nitbal to Besaro, which is the height. But the Mandoma that does not darshan the S, so he will know it from Ubal Hashor Noki. So that's the second halacha we learned today, that a Shor HaNiskal, we said already you're not allowed to eat the meat. And we said that even from when the Psak Din was, already from the Gmar Din, you're not allowed to eat the meat. But not only are you not allowed to eat the meat, but you're not allowed to have any benefits from the meat. And another thing, that not only any benefit from the meat, but also any benefits from the body of the goof, the or. The Gemara talks about the hides. You're also not allowed to benefit. So that's already another halacha about shor and iskal. Okay, so if you say balashon noki, so for sure includes everything, right? It includes the horns, it includes the things. If you say es besaro, so the Gemara says it means the hide, which that's the most simple es besaro. What's going to be with the horns and this? I think it would be the same, but I don't know. Maybe according to the Manamar of S. Okay. Adkan. Now, the Gemara is continuing another halacha with the shor and the skull, which be'etzim it said in the Torah we learned, right, that soko yisakel hashor, v'lo yochel as besar, which we said you're not allowed to eat the meat, you're not allowed to have any benefits from the meat. Ubal hashor noki, which we said already, the drasha. One drasha was that the bailam goes out clean without anything. But in the simple meaning, it would mean ubal hashor noki, that even though we have to be circle the shor, even though the shor does, we throw him down, we get rid of him, we don't use him, but the bailam, the owner, he's clean, he doesn't get any punishment. Only if the shor is a shor hamud, it's already a shor that's kicking a few days, some time. So then the be'etzim, the bailam also deserve misa, but they'll pay what's called kofer. They'll pay money, which we had yesterday, I think. And machlokas, how much money does he pay? Does he pay as much money as he's worth? Because he's sort of, how do you say, being mechaper on himself. So he has to give the amount that he's worth. Or maybe he pays the amount of the person that the shor killed. The shor killed a person over here, not a shor. So we give the amount that person would be worth. And we're paying that. That's considered kofer, that he doesn't get misa. So now the Gemara is going to say, what does ubal shor noki mean? That if the shor is a muad, he has to pay kofer. But if the shor is a short time, balashor noki, he doesn't pay the kofer. And the Gemara is going to say some drushes about it. I already said one by mistake, but yeah. Tanu Rabbanan. O balashor noki, Rabbi Eliezer oimer, noki mechatzi kofer. So, which really means, this is really a simple chap. Balashor noki, that he doesn't have to pay the kofer. But the Gemara here uses the term chatzi kofer because we're talking about a short time. And we remember by nezek, a shor muad pays nezek shalem, pays full damages, and a shor tam pays chatzi nezek, half the damage. So if he would have to pay kofer, how much kofer would he have to pay? If he would have to pay, mistama, half the kofer. That's what the Gemara assumes. So balashar noki is telling us that the bailam does not have to pay kofer, which will really mean he doesn't have to pay even half the kofer. Rabbi Eliezer noki mechatzi kofer. Omar Rabbi Akiva. Even when you pay, when a shor tam has to pay, so how much does it have to pay? We cap it at the shor itself. In other words, not only do we cap it, but he only pays as much as the shor which kicked is worth. That's called migufa. We had this a whole bunch of times. That you don't just go to his bank account and take out money. You could take, the max that you could take is that you take away this shor. Now over here, the shor and iskal, right? What happened? The shor itself is not going to be here no more, right? We're going to throw it down, we're going to stone it, and we're not going to be able to use it. So the shor is not here. So now you say, oh, and you also don't have to pay chatzi kofer. Of course I don't have to pay chatzi kofer. My gag, the most that I would have to pay would be this shor. Once this shor is not here, you wouldn't be able to come to my bank account and take out money. I don't need a pasuk to tell us, Obala shor noki. Of course, by a short time, you can't take more than just the shore itself. And since the shore is not here, because the shore itself we threw down, so of course there's no chatzi. That's what the Kiva said. Again, but the Yezer says no kima chatzi kofer. No, the pasuk really goes by a shore tam. The pasuk says, I should read again all the psukim inside, maybe. You're right. V'chi yigach shor es ish. V'chi yigach shor es ish o es isha v'meis. A shor that bore a man or a woman and dies, and then the person dies. Sokol yisakel hashor v'lo yeyochel es besaro u'val hashor naki. That's the pasuk that we just had. But v'im shor nagachu mitmol shel shoim. If it's a shtoister already, it's kicking from a few days. who has the balav? You want to say the bailam v'lo yishmerenu, and then vehemes isha isha, then hashor yisakel. V'gam ba'alav you must be karon. If kofer yushas alav, v'nosam pidyon afshor kechol asher yushas alav. And then he pays kofer. So our pasuk is talking about a shor tam, and said that the balashor noki of something which the shor muad would be chayev. What would the shor muad be chayev? Also kofer. So maybe the Rebbe says balashor noki is coming to say that the shor tam does not have to pay kofer. So Kiva says, of course, I wouldn't have to pay kofer. All right, every kofer, once you cycle the shor is out. So if I would have to pay kofer, it would be more than the shor. I don't pay more than me before I'm a tam man. So why do I need a pasuk to tell us not to pay the kofer? One more time. That he's gonna tell the nizik or what's coming. Heviyeyu lebezin, bring this shirt to bezin. V'yeshulam lach or v'yeshalem lach, and he's gonna pay you. Meaning the shor is not around anymore. If you'll dig up the shor, then I'll pay you. But of course he won't be able to because the shor is also ba'ana. You think I made such a mistake? I meant chatzi kofer. Shedini bezeh, that when I said that you put it from kofer, I meant in this case, Shedini bezeh shechayev. Me said that you thought my din that I said that you put it from kofer was poking and assure that you were really cycle. Of course, then the shor is not here. I would then, even in a case that there's some kind of technical issue and you're not going to be cycle the shor. So really the shor is going to be here. So there is a what to take kofer from. Even then, you're not going to take kofer because of balashor noki. Ain dini, my din that you don't have to take kofer. I was talking that there wasn't two Adim that you would give now the shor skila. It was only one Aid. Or Al Pi Bailam, that the Bailam was moide that the shor kicked someone. So then you're not going to kill the shor because we're going to see in a second, maybe it's moide b'knas, maybe it's Aid Echod. You're not going to go and be so kill the shor. And still, and 1 second, and in a case where you're not cycle the shor, so the shor is around. So you would think that you could take the kofer from the shor, the chatzi kofer at least from the shor. So that he says that it's potter. That's when I was saying that you potter from the kofer. So the Gemara asks, al pi bailim, then there would be a tzad that he has to pay kofer. If he came in the Beis Din and said my shor killed someone, the tzad that I would have to still pay kofer. Everyone knows moide b'knasu. Everyone knows that if there's a knas and someone's moide in the knas, then you don't pay the knas. You only pay the damages itself. If someone stole from someone else, a ganef, and he comes and says, I stole it, and not that Adam came and saw that I stole it, but I myself come into Beis Din. So the ganef himself comes into Beis Din and says, I stole this. So then he has to pay, what he stole. He has to give back, but he doesn't have to pay what's called kefal. Because that's a knas, and a person that a person that's moide is potter on the knas. So over here, the Gemara understands for some reason that the kofer would be considered a knas. I don't understand why, but that's how the Gemara would go. And since it's al pi bailam, he should be potter from the knas. And Rashi points out that the kasha would also be on eid echod. The Gemara is talking about the bailam, but eid echod there would also be a kasha that if it's mamon, how could we be mechayev? How would we have a havim in it that the eid echod should be mechayev in mamon?
Not so much on that fact is completely.
Either we're not somech or just in. I'm not sure. But I'm not sure if the word is that we don't trust him. If it's a trust issue, or it's just that there's certain requirements or categories. And
this guy has to
I forgot the word. Right, the guy has to be that.
That's only in two witnesses in case they have to kill the Bava.
Or for money. Money also you don't take out with the eid echad. You might have to swear against him, but you don't take out money against shvua. But you can't take out money al pi eid echad. The Gemara's understanding. Well, Rashi doesn't. The Gemara doesn't say this, but Rashi puts this in that paying kofer is also he's paying money. So we're not going to make him pay kofer al pi eid echad. Even if he's moide by himself, which usually a person does have to pay money if he's moide. If someone says I borrowed any money and didn't pay, and he has to pay up. But over here it's a knas, so you wouldn't have to pay the knas. That's how the Gemara understands. And the Gemara says no, kasava kufra kapara. The kufra, it's not money that you would have to pay, and it's not a knas, but it really is this kind of, how do you say, kapara. Cleansing, redemption, redeeming him from the avera. So over here, right. Right. So over there, even if he says, and even just he would have to pay. And the male if someone says his shor killed someone, he would have to pay. And that's what the pasuk is telling us. So bala shor noki, that even in a case that you don't kill the shor, and the bailam be'etzem would have to pay the koifer, since it's a shor tam, it's the first offense. Second offense, we say that he doesn't have to pay the koifer. That is Rabbi Eliezer. Now the Gemara is going to bring a very similar brayse again. That Rabbi Eliezer says that bala shor noki is saying that he doesn't pay the koifer, and keeps going to say, hey, what do you mean the shor is not here? And Rabbi Eliezer is going to say, okay, there was a technical issue why you didn't kill the shor, and I was saying that even in that case, you're not the chayav koifer. Tanya Iloch a similar bride. So Amar Rabbi Eliezer, Akiva kahani beinecha shedini bezeh. You think I made such a mistake that I'm talking even in this case shechayev misa when the shor is chayav misa? No. When I said that you don't have to pay the koifer, ein dini ela b'miskavin la'arages habeim of harages ha'adam. We're going to see in the Mishnah later that the halacha of shor aniskal is only if the shor wanted to kill a Jew, bar kayama person, meaning not an animal. If it was trying to kick an animal and by mistake it kicked a person, then it's not you're not soikel the shor. It wasn't really trying to kick a person. It was trying to kick an animal, or was trying to kick a nafel, someone who that doesn't have it, that can't live. It was trying to kick someone who can't live, and it ended up kicking someone who could live. So since the shor wasn't trying to kick the person who could live, it's potter. It was trying to kick a guy and then it kicked the Yisrael. So then it's potter. Only so Laz is saying, but in those cases there would be a havaminah that taka the shor you're not cycle. But maybe the bailam has to pay koiver, right? In the tam. Now the truth is, what would you say? We're gonna see soon that such a shor is not chayav misa, right? We know that a regular shor hamud that kicks has two oinshim. Also that the shor itself is sokal yisokal ashor, and also the bailam has to pay koifer. So we're going to say in the Mishnah and Daf Daled, we're going to say that when it was trying to kick a goy or a behema, and then it kicked the person, the Yisrael, we're not cycle the shor. How about the koifer? Does it have to pay the koifer or not? The bailam has to pay the koifer or not? So the truth is, we'll see machlokes later about this. And the Gemara over here is going like the Braise and like the Shita that says over there that koifer he would have to pay. Nachon is no shor aniskal, but a muad would pay koifer. If a muad would pay koifer, so now let's go back to our case to a tam. Says Rabbi Eliezer, a tam there would be a havaminah that maybe the guy would have to pay half the koifer, and that's why it says bala shor noki that he doesn't have to pay that half a koifer. So don't think that I'm making such a big mistake and I'm talking about a case that the shor is not here b'chlal. Of course, that's the only migufa, and there would be no tzad that I have to pay the koifer. But there's a tzad that I would have to pay the koifer in a case that the shor is here, and
would this be also a case referring to when it could have had shchita? Or at least a clear case?
after, I think whatever is going to be the halacha by shor aniskal is also going to be after the gmar din, even if it had shchita. Is that what you're referring to?
In this
Or
case,
the koifer?
the Gemara din here is that it was an accident. It was trying to kick an animal and instead it kicked an Israel.
Right.
We're not going to kill it.
Right.
Even in that case, if you did shchita, you can eat the meat,
No, then it would be good. Oh, that's what you meant. Then you could use the meat.
but it killed the person. I mean,
Correct.
at least fulfilling the pshat of it.
Correct. They killed a person, but it wasn't trying. There wasn't kavanoso lahazik. It wasn't. It's not a bad guy. This animal. He wasn't trying to kill a person. He was trying to go on another animal, and boom, it went into a person. So therefore, it doesn't get skila for the same reason. Once it doesn't get skila, so now you could eat it too. Not only, if you shochet, and you could even continue working with it. You could continue using it. Before we were talking that etzem you're supposed to be circle. He ran before they did it, and they shchita. Over here, he wouldn't have to run. He would go slowly, and he could be shochet. He could work with the animal. It doesn't have a halacha of being killed.
Nothing else can apply to this cow aside from possibly
Kofa. That's what we're talking about. So by a shor muad, we're going now that there would be kofa. That's how the Gemara is going here. And now we're talking how about before it became a muad in the first and second offense. What's going to
survived all the other ones?
If
Yeah. Okay. That was we had a whole bunch of right. That was a different how it became a muad. Ela b'miskaven laragas behema v'haragas adam, the mitri v'harag Yisrael, or the goy v'harag Yisrael, the nephalim v'harag ben kayoma. So then Rabbi Eliezer is saying that in that case you're not going to kill the animal, so there's not going to be an issue of migufay, and still the pasuk tells us balashonaki that you're not chayiv b'koyfer adkan. It's very similar to what we had before. Now the Gemara takes these two brises and assumes that it was two conversations that Rabbi Eliezer had with the Tiva, and the Gemara wants to know which one did the Eliezer say first. Now technically they're both really the same thing. What's he saying? I was talking in a case that you don't kill the animal. But one time he used the case that it was al pi bailam or al pi echad, and one time he said the reason why you didn't kill the animal was because it was miskaven to someone else. And the Gemara assumes that that's a better teretz, because al pi bailam and al pi echad, right? We said maybe there's really moide beknas. We said no, he doesn't hold. He holds that knas is not it's not a knas, it's koifer. Al pi echad, it's mammon. Oh no, he doesn't hold it's mammon. He holds it's koifer. So it's a little bit iffy. This teretz is a very simple teretz, talking in a case that it's not chayav misa because it was trying to kill an animal and by mistake it killed a person. So it's like a better answer. So the Gemara says that there was two conversations of Kiva and Blazer. One time Blazer said like a good answer, and one time a little of a not such a good answer. So which one happened first? What do you think? If I have a conversation with you, so I would say, the first he said like not such a good answer, and then he said, oh wow, a much better answer. And he said a good answer. And on the other hand, maybe they decided that what? At first he told him a good answer. And not good answer. He says, by the way, I have other cases also that I could put over here. So like, which one does someone say first? This is going to be a machlekes. It's cute, very interesting. Hey, Omar Bereisha, which answer did the Bieda tell Rabbi Kiva first? Avkanu mishmei Rav Amar, Niskaven lo Omar Bereisha. He first said the second answer, that he was Niskaven la rog as a behema, and he killed all of them. That's the answer that he said first. After Vyomi mishmei Rav Amar, Hemes Omar Bereisha. That means Hemes al pi edechad and al pi atzma. Rav Kahana mishmei Rav Amar Niskaven Omar Bereisha. He first said the good answer. Why? Mashal etzayod shashor ledogim in hayam. He's going fishing. So first, which ones does he schlep out? First, he gets the easy fish, right? The big fish he schleps out first. Mashkech Ravi. First, he finds the big one, so he takes that out. Afterwards, he finds more small fish, so he also takes those out. Zutri shakov. After Yogi Mishmei Derava Amar, Hey Miss Amalu Bereisha, Mashal Litzayot Shashor ledogim in hayam. He's trying to get fish from the thing. So first he finds shmacha ones. He finds zutri, mashkech zutri. He finds the small ones. So shakal, he takes them. Then mashkech ravavi, he finds the big ones. He says, who needs the small ones? Shadi zutri. He throws away the small ones. Shakal ravavi, and he takes the big ones. So it's just a which answer would he say first? But to sum it up, but Lamaisa, what happened up until here with the Blazer? He said a pashta pshat and balashor noki. Balashor noki means that he does not have to pay the koifer. Even in a case that he would have to pay the koifer, there wouldn't be megufay because it's here. He was moid. There's a reason why you didn't kill the shor, and there wouldn't be. In other words, Rav Kiva wouldn't have this kasha that it's more than megufay. You don't have to pay the koifer. That's balashor noki. That's a Blazer's answer. Now there's going to be other answers. What balashor noki might be coming to say. I'm not sure what to do.
Also, how can we continue to apply balashor noki and not apply lo chelet b'sara?
Apply it to what?
In this case.
In these. Oh, I get what you're saying. Balashor noki really means to say, it says like this. Sokol yisakel ashor, you throw the shor off. And you don't eat the meat. Balashor, the owner of the shor, is noki means he's exempt. Now, exempt means he's exempt from something. So we're saying, what kind of thing would he have to have that over here the Torah is saying that he's exempt? Well, the Ma'aseh, the Torah says that he's exempt. So
initially you said he's exempt, he doesn't have to pay a kanas or
a kanas. You want to know if Niskam Alarigas Ashor, and then it kills Niskam Alarigas Behim, and then it kills a person. It does not have Misa. Why would it have to pay Kofa? That's what you're asking? Not.
Why would it have to be Kofa? You're saying it doesn't have to be Kofa.
In a case that it doesn't have to pay this, let's say a Shom would. Let's talk not about a short time, right? In the case of a short muad, that it kills someone, so sokol yisokel ashor. Now over here, it's potter from skila because it wasn't skaven larigas abehima, varagas adam. And now what happens? So now we're still saying it would have to pay kofer. You want to know why it would have to pay kofer?
You said it was not paying over because
Because it was a tam. Because it was its first offense. So even though it would have to usually pay kofer, which I'm not sure why, but that's what the Gemara says, in a case that it's its first or second or third offense, it wouldn't have to pay because it's still a short tam, and it wouldn't have to pay that. That makes sense or not? Let me just. Go back. Okay. Zoom. Okay, we're back on. What's it up? Was it good or no? Again.
we're now trying to filter him from the kofer because we say balashor
Right. By a short time.
by short time.
Right.
So then I was saying for sure by short time.
Short muad would pay the kofer.
Yeah.
In these cases, it happens to be that he wouldn't kill the short, but he would just pay the kofer.
Even half kofer.
What do you mean even half?
Well, he's not doesn't pay the half either.
By us, by a short time. No, he doesn't pay even the half. And now the Gemara's going to have other drushes, but I'm not going to continue because this is the way we got to. Of other drushes of Bala Shornoki, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to stop over here. Okay, a few minutes.
Thank you, Pinchas. Thank you very much. I'll be over right away. I'll be over now.
I can't hear you. What?
I'll be over
What?
now. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Amazing. Okay,
Beautiful share. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm keeping the Zoom. I'm going to shut the Zoom.